good friend of mine named David Young. Maybe some of you know him. This was actually recommended to me by some anonymous member here. And yeah, I just wanted to say, David is somebody that's really, he's one of my best friends from Ohio. He used to be the assistant pastor in Columbus, and he worked a lot in the High Noon Summit. He was one of the main staff for the High Noon Summit. He's worked on Project Phoenix, if you've heard about that, which is about bringing, basically working on the kind of gap or divide that there is in the movement. I guess, anyways, for some people maybe there is between the elder generation, the younger generation, and that Project Phoenix has had, already 2 workshops with more than 100 people. And he's also worked on his own project, which is called Take Your Life On, which he is the founder of, and is around, well, that's what he'll be talking about today. He held his seminar where is this one? I actually don't remember.
New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire. And he held the seminar and then he gave a sermon on Sunday afterwards. And I've attended the Take Your Life On seminar. It's very moving. And that's what we're going to be watching today. Please enjoy.
So my name is David. I'm Blackanese. I'm Chinese and half black. Proudly so. And the oldest of 5 kids, and I have a 4-year-old son. My wife is Rika, originally of Betancourt from Maryland. And I want to say thank you for being here. You really are amazing people. I haven't met some of you I haven't met before. But one thing I do know about you is that you have something great inside of you. Like you really do. Like you really do. And I'll talk about that. Okay. So ask yourself, what kind of circumstances do you have in your life that give you a reason not to be who you really are? Where do you get stopped in life? When you know that you can do more, that you're capable of more, that you can be more, and yet we hold ourselves back because of something in life we say, I can't do this. Talk about really getting free from circumstances in your life. A lot of times we live our lives as if we are at the effect of a circumstance. Like, we'll say things, I'm shy. I don't have enough money. I don't like my parents. I don't like my children. Or my spouse is an idiot. Sometimes. And we have all these circumstances that are either they're external circumstances or they're internal circumstances, but either way, they show up for us as a reason for us not to do something in your life. And so, it's not it's not bad or anything, it's just kind of normal. That's just how people kind of live their life. So if you were to ask somebody, hey, you want to do this thing? And you get really inspired, yeah, I love doing this thing. Maybe I'll have this big dream, I'll start a company, and this company will just change the world. And I'm like, cool, why don't you do that? And they'll be like, well, I don't have enough money, I still got to finish school, or they'll say, you know what, I got to work at a job, I have to take care of the kids, I just don't have the time. And so what ends up happening is that inspiration and passion gets stuck and never gets to come out because we bring up these circumstances. And it's deep down inside you might have had a dream, and then we all do this terrible thing. We ask ourselves how we're going to do it. And then your brain goes, you can't do that, it doesn't make any sense. How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? And then you go, yeah, you're right. You're right, brain. That was a dumb question. I'm sorry for asking that question. Anyway, you carry on with your day. And then your brain's like, yes. And then a small part of you kind of dies. Because there's something inside you that you once thought you could have done, and either you talked yourself out of it, or you let someone else talk yourself out of it, saying it's not possible. So when I'm speaking, I like to give a lot of opportunity for people to talk to each other. Now, you may not like the person you're sitting next to, but it's okay, because now you're going to get to talk to them. Actually, I don't know if that's going to work for you. But during the sermon, you're going to get to do something called a pair share, and you just tell the person, you talk to the person next to you based on whatever question I ask you. You don't have to. But I'm going to invite you to. So if that's something that you're willing to do, can you just raise your hand and say aye? Aye. Can you raise your hand and say aye? Aye. Alright, so with your partner, share something that you really want to do, but you feel like you're held back by a circumstance. Something that you really like, but you feel like you can't do it right now. And it doesn't have to be like some huge thing. It could be legitimate. It could be like, I don't want to go to church. I don't really want to sit here and listen to the sermon right now. But the circumstances, I feel kind of guilty, and so I feel like I should just stay here. And that's why I'm not getting up and leaving. You know? Or it could be like, I really want to have this passion in life. Like, I wish I could start a band, but whatever your circumstances, right? So take a moment to just be honest with yourself and be kind of straight for a moment and kind of call one on yourself. Tell one on yourself. What's really holding you back? What circumstance is stopping you? And turn to the person next to you, and go. We'll do about 2 minutes each, okay? So share with your partner, what do you want, and what circumstance is holding you back? Go. A lot of times, like when people, I do this exercise, and people are sharing about the circumstance that is like stopping them or holding them back. And it's difficult for them to share because they feel like they're sitting next to the circumstance that's holding them back. You know, and so like, so you can like, that happens, you know, because I don't know, sometimes we decide we want to like marry that person and move in with them, and then all of a sudden one of them comes out of us, and we're like, man, I have all these circumstances that I you know, and it's okay. But the point is just to notice, what are your circumstances, right? What are your circumstances? So, I'm not here to poop away your circumstances, because that's not really going to work. I haven't figured it out yet, but I want to talk about changing our relationship to circumstances. Now, I want to ask you a question. How does it feel talking about all the circumstances that stop you?
It's a bummer.
Yeah, it's a bummer. It stinks. There's an odor to the conversation about it, right? Feel kind of heavy. Notice that when actually, if you're sitting here and you watch everybody, everyone's face kind of like this, right? Now, so notice what it's like to actually physically weighs on you. It does something to your body. Now, consider in your life, everything is based on a four-position foundation. It's like the four-position foundation is creating everything in your life. But a lot of times, our circumstances deal with us as if they're the subject over us. So we have a circumstance, and we spend our entire life dealing with circumstance. And then you die. And that's it. Right? And think about it. If you look back on your life, actually, you probably know other people in your life who live like that, right? Raise your hand if you know other people who it just seems like they're probably in their circumstances. Right? And it doesn't feel good, right? In fact, the alternative, what we do normally, because we actually don't like it, we don't like our circumstances, but it's really scary to try and change the relationship we have to it. So instead, what we try to do is try to pretend that this isn't happening. We try to numb ourselves to it. So we don't actually break through from this, we just distract ourselves. So we live really, really boxed lives. You go to bed in a box, and you get off of your box, and then you go into your box and drive your box to your big box, sit down at your box, and then type the keys on your other box. Maybe you make some phone calls on another box. And then you get back into your box and drive back to your big box, sit on a comfortable box, and then to mix things up, you drink a cylinder. And you go back to bed. But consider distraction is not the same thing as fulfillment. Distraction is not the same thing as dealing with it. And consider how attached you are to your circumstances. And someone imagine the person when you're sharing your circumstances, and they're like, you know what, your circumstances are dumb. You should just do it. How would that make you feel? Yeah, you feel kind of hurt, or maybe you get kind of mad. You're like, don't talk to me like that. My circumstances are real. If you understood what I was going through, you wouldn't do anything either with your life. And it's like, we kind of defend our right to be totally stuck in our life. And because it's not that we're defending our rights, just our circumstances are subject over us, and we just stay in the opposite position, so we're just dealing with it. And we keep on dealing with it, and we just deal with it, and deal with it, and deal with it, and that's your life. So I want to consider, whose perspective are you seeing your life from if the circumstances rule over you? A lot of times you say, who's at the top of the circle? Who's at the top of the baseball diamond? And you gotta pick one. And they're like, the Sunday school teacher's like, who's at the top? And then like all the kids are like, good. And they're like, who's at the other circle? And they're like, Satan. And the teacher's like, good job. And then that lasts for a while until you like get old enough to decide that you don't have to be in Sunday school anymore. You know? But I like, instead of thinking of Satan, because it's a weird idea to think that there's a huge dark gargoyle like behind you, like running your life. It's much more implicit than that. So usually when I work with clients and I'm coaching them, I talk about how your ego is pretty much running your life. Why are you attached to your circumstances? Here's the answer: you aren't. Your ego is. Your ego wants to be totally justified and right about what's wrong with your life and what's stopping you. Because we don't, our ego doesn't want us to break free. Consider that you actually like it. It's not even people say they just want to be comfortable all the time. Like, raise your hand if you think most people just want to be comfortable. Raise your hand if you know other people who just want to be comfortable. We really don't like being uncomfortable. But I consider actually it's not even about comfort, because a lot of times our life is actually uncomfortable. Our situation, it's not fun. I consider it's not about comfortability, it's about familiarity. We want things to be familiar. And if someone comes over there and they want to bust up your familiarity, even if you don't like your familiarity, that's your familiarity, that's my life. Don't mess around with that. And consider that it's not you. Your ego will actually leave you. It will keep you in that position for the rest of your life. And it's just mostly concerned about staying right about what your circumstance is. And then you get the results in your life. What if I told you a story about a girl? And the girl was born to a 13-year-old mother. A single mom. And what do you think the chances of this girl succeeding in life are? Small, right? It's like a child having a child, right? Now, what if I told you that this girl, after she was born, was raped and abused verbally, physically, and sexually? How would you think her chances are of succeeding in life? Yeah, not very high. What if this girl, when she became 13 herself, gave birth to a stillborn baby? And then later on in life, she was so hurt, and so angry, and so resentful, that because of her behavior, she got put in a correctional facility. What do you think the chance of her succeeding in life are? Who am I talking about? You might know her name is Oprah Winfrey. One of the richest women in the world, influences people's lives on a daily basis. It really makes a difference. Consider that your circumstances are nothing. In the end, with life, there's just who are you going to be and what are you going to do? Who are you going to be and what are you going to do? And the scary question is, who are you being right now? I'm going to just read a few people who you might know as being successful and just tell you a few facts about them. Do you guys know Barbara Streisand? Like some people, percentage of the room gets her. Did you know that actually her opening debut closed on the first night? George Lucas? His first film actually flopped. He lost money, and then after that, every major studio rejected his next film. He spent 2 years approaching studios. His next film was Star Wars. John Grisham, he's a famous author. He's gained worldwide success. He sold over 250 million copies of his book. His first novel was rejected by 16 agents. And it was rejected again by 12 publishing houses. Just want you to consider the circumstances that people live up against. He has no Dr. Seuss, right? He approached 27 publishers and got 27 no's. He later wanted to burn his manuscript because he thought he was a total idiot and completely incompetent. And then one of the publishers sold over 6 million copies of it. And the publisher had actually told him no, and decided to sell it anyway, made a lot of money. That's how he got started. You guys know Anthony Robles? If you wrestle, you might know him. He won the national wrestling championship. He can run a mile. He's 125 pounds, and he can bench press over 300 pounds. That might mean something for more like the people who do that. That's good. That's pretty intense. I don't do that. In less than 2 minutes, he can do 100 pull-ups. You know, he can run a mile in 8 minutes in crutches because he only has one leg. So think about what's holding you back? Why not? Why not what you want for your life? Circumstances actually have no power over you. Now, they're really just an opportunity for you to respond. Consider that you're actually free and pretending that you're not. And they were pretending that we're not pretending that we're not. Circumstance is an opportunity for you to respond to your life. You know, the word responsibility comes from that word being able to respond. That you get to say how you're going to respond to whatever circumstance comes in your way. And you take a look at that from this attitude, from God's point of view, there's just, who am I going to be in my life? You know, I'm going to be an actor or I'm going to make a difference. That's who I am. I'm going to be a difference for other people. I'm going to be loving. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to stop being a jerk. And then it's just, what am I going to do? What action am I going to take? What's next for me to do? From God's point of view, consider that your circumstances don't even show up. And that's how you do like amazing things. Because like something happens and you just keep on taking action. You just keep on taking action. Consider this, you will always pass failure on the way to success.
Right.
You know, and actually they're more like signposts. And so it seems like a failure, and consider that it's not a failure, you just pass another signpost on the way to success. So most of the time what happens is that we are doing it, we're actually taking action, and then we don't see the result that we want. And then we blame the result for the reason why we cannot keep taking action. And so when someone says, hey, why didn't you get this thing that you wanted? The truth is that I stopped. But what we say is, this happened. A more responsible answer is, this happened, and then this is what I did, and this is what I'm still doing. My company flopped. And that could be the end of the story. But my company flopped, and I got together with a few of my friends, I started another job, and now this is what I'm planning to do next. Because I still have this goal that I'm going towards. I'm still going to be this person. You know, for me, a long time, my circumstance was my wife. You know, I thought the reason why I can't be totally connected and feel love and passionate in my marriage is because of the person that I'm married to. And raise your hand if, well, not if you've been, raise your hand if you know anybody who's been in that situation. I know we're not in that situation, right? And you know, I really felt like it was like my circumstance was like with me all the time. And I was like, how can you deal with a circumstance when your circumstance is a person? And I really was completely like blind to like the attitude that I had. It was all about like the circumstance going on. Like, man, she's so this, and she's so that, and she's so that, and that's why I'm miserable, frustrated, unhappy, depressed, and lonely. And if only the circumstances would change, maybe I could do something about it. And then I get the bright idea, I know what I'll do. I'll just change her. I'll just change my circumstance. And if I change my circumstance, then I'll be happy. How's that working for you? And for the first time, I really got, you know, that the things I was doing, because I blamed my circumstance for it, I stopped listening to her. She would sit across the table and tell me about her day, and the only thing I could think about was how I thought I deserved somebody better. You know, how I wish I had someone that I could just completely do everything with. And she's still talking to me the whole time. And then I looked at, you know, who am I really being? What's my attitude? And when I was really straight with myself, I was like, you know what? I'm being a selfish, arrogant jerk. And I'm doing what selfish, arrogant jerks do. Not listening, criticizing, judging. And so it's no wonder why that's what my life looks like. See, the whole thing is when you get clear on how God sees you from your life, you are ultimately free and you are the source of your life. Your life, the principle is active and operating. The results that you have in your life came from you. It's a product of who you've been being, it's a product of your actions. Can you hear that voice in the back of your head that kind of wants to say no? But this happened and we don't understand. Consider that voice is in you. You know why? Because you can hear it. You're the one listening to it. You're not the one saying it. If that voice in your head was actually you, here, try this. Stop it. Try to stop it for 10 seconds. Try to turn that voice off. Ready? Alright, go. It's the voice that it goes like, what voice? And it's like constantly talking, and sometimes another voice shows up. It's like the same side of it. It's like different. Your ego's pretty smart, and it'll try to reason with itself. So you're like, I just gotta deal with that voice. And so you spend all this time having this internal argument with yourself, and it has nothing to do with what is going on out here. What's really going on out here. And so when I get out here, it's like I realized I lived with a figment of my imagination, and her name was Rika, and she was this person, and I had all the stories about her, and then I realized I went to a 10-day meditation retreat, and I was standing looking outside of a window. There's the scenes in the movie when it cuts and you're in a insane asylum and you're just staring. That's what I was doing. And I was just I was so mad, and I was thinking about how angry I was. And then for the first time I had a huge breakthrough. I was like, oh, I understand now. I'm insane. I'm insane. That's what it is. I'm insane. That makes so much sense now. Because the person that I'm angry at isn't even here right now, and I'm so mad. She's not even real. And I'm so mad. And you're oh, that makes so much sense. I'm just crazy. And she talks to me. She says stuff to me, and then I get angry at her, and I try to have this conversation with her. And then I have a conversation with the person I think that's talking to her. I'll be like, hey, you shouldn't say that. Maybe you should try it this way. And they're like, oh, I just have all these voices in my head, and I'm just crazy. When we think of someone who's actually has voices, who hears voices and talks to people, we're actually like that. We just don't tell anybody. But I hear voices. Do you hear voices? You guys gotta read, otherwise I'm gonna be in trouble.
Do you know anyone?
Consider that the voices actually have no power over what you say. You can hear all the voices and then say, I love you. That was the biggest breakthrough in my life when I realized I could feel all these things, have all these voices and all these thoughts, and I could be in front of my wife and say, I'm really grateful that I have you in my life. Would you like a back massage? No. And a back massage. That sounds better. Right? And then she's happy, she tells me that she really cares about me and that she's really grateful for it. And now we enjoy making out while we're cooking, and I hope it's not too much PDA, but it's you're able to speak and act in spite of the voices in your head, in spite of your ego. So I know that circumstances seem real, and the voices in your head seem real, and your ego seems like it's you, like that's you talking. But consider, if you can actually say whatever you want in spite of it, and take action in spite of it, that isn't really you. If it was, you wouldn't be able to do anything in spite of it. You'd be stuck, you'd be trapped. And that's what it wants you to believe. Your ego wants you to believe that you are trapped, that who you are as a person is who you're going to be for the rest of your life, and then you're going to die. You're stuck being shy. You're stuck not wanting to talk to people. And you'll be stuck forever, unless the circumstance changes. And then the funny thing is that even though the circumstance changes, you move out of the house, and you're I'm so glad I'm away from you, Mom. And of course you're not saying that. You're just goodbye. I love you. But it's like, I'm so happy to be away. And then you like go and you realize you have a difficult time dealing with other older females. You know, or other like authority figures. Or anyone who seems to be kind of on your case. You know, you're in school and you have like a really good friend and they're like, hey, why don't you try doing it this way? And you're like, leave me alone. I'm doing it the way I know to do it. Like, where did that come from? So consider that you may, like, your circumstances may change, but the truth is, the attitude and who you're being doesn't. As long as you think you're trapped by a circumstance. When you see yourself from God's point of view, who gets to decide who you are? Like, I have to, you know, when I got really clear with myself, I was like, who's the one deciding to be a jerk? This guy. So, did I choose to be something else? Yeah. I decided I was going to be in love. Like, swept off my feet in love. And I promised I was going to be there. I got to stop being other places. And it really made a difference. I noticed that I could be there and feel like crap. I could be in love and have like a bunch of thoughts that don't have anything to do with being in love, and then act on it, and then actually I create the experience of feeling in love with my wife. Sure, what would it be like if you were free? What would it be like if you were free from your circumstances? Not that your circumstances aren't there, because mind you, I talked about this in the seminar, the car's coming towards you, and you're like, I'm free from my circumstances. And then the car hits you, you know, the car will still take you down. So it's not that the circumstances disappear, but you experience a new freedom from it. So take a moment and just close your eyes, and I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, how does God see me? From God's point of view, what am I capable of? From God's point of view, what kind of person can I be? From God's point of view, what's the next thing for me to do? Consider that you are capable of way more than you've been giving yourself credit for. And ignore like the how for a moment. Like how? What do you mean? Just like consider it. I'm not telling you to believe me. Just consider it for a little while. Try it on. If you don't like it, take it off. We have our view of ourselves in life, right? And there's a huge gap, you know? We talk about like between God's view on our circumstances and my view on my circumstances. And what I'm really saying is like your ego, how your ego views your circumstances and how the real you, the you that knows what you're capable of. Think about it, you wouldn't have a dream if you didn't know it was possible. There's some part of you that already knows you can do it. Doesn't know how, it just knows that you can, because it's not what you can do, it's actually who you are. And there's a huge gap. In fact, it's a huge, huge gap. It's more like this. You know, a lot of times in my coaching, I'll meet people and they'll say, I don't know if that's possible, or who knows someone when you talk about something new and empowering, they seem kind of cynical or jaded. Who knows people like that? You are like that. Sometimes I get like that, especially when I'm hearing a new idea. And, you know, sometimes when people will talk to me and say, yeah, I'm just kind of cynical about it, I'm just kind of jaded about it. I say, no, you're not, you're gutless. You know, afraid. Not of the circumstance, but what it's going to mean for you to give up the life that you have to take on something so big. What are the new things that you'd have to handle if you were living full on, full out? It's a whole completely new set of circumstances to be totally amazing. There's a new kind of fears, and it's unfamiliar, and it's uncharted territory, and it's where you belong. And we get scared of what our life would have to look like because it would be totally different. We wouldn't even recognize ourselves. So I want to read a quote from Reverend Moon. He says, we were all created to be great men and women. God did not send us into this world without purpose. When God created us, He invested His complete love into each person. So we were all created for greatness. Because God exists, we can accomplish anything. I want to invite you to read it with me and say I and me. Are you ready? I was created to be a great man and woman. God did not send me into this world without purpose. When God created me, He invested His complete love into me. So I was created for greatness. Because God exists, I can accomplish anything. Try that on for a little bit. Please join me in a prayer.